It would be Sheryl Sandberg, former CEO of Meta.
It would be Princess Diana.
Rachel Carson, who was a hugely influential American marine biologist, conservationist, and of course writer.
Many years ago, even before I got my first position as a team lead, I read her book, which is called Lean In. The book's main message is to encourage women to step up, take risks, and actively pursue leadership roles against just sitting and waiting for opportunities.
Her stories always filled me with sadness and empathy, and if she was still alive today, it would be someone that I would really love to have dinner with.
It was her ability to blend such significant scientific research with prose that I think I found quite remarkable. And I'd be fascinated to ask her how she translated those observations into a real compelling narrative that sparked incredible global movements during her time. Well, I think I'm really fortunate to have worked in marketing for well over a decade now. In that time, have experienced multiple opportunities and of course many challenges as well along the way that come from being a woman in the workplace. I've also obviously witnessed many colleagues and friends experience their own challenges as well throughout their career. So it's been a real journey, a sort of a learning journey. I think for me, the most significant change is the rise in remote working, and has had probably the most positive impact professionally and personally to allow sort of that work-life balance and move away from that rigidity of those sort of 9-to-5 desk-based roles.
8 years ago, when I joined one of my previous companies, I was the only one girl in a team of 40 software engineers. Today, I'm no longer the only one, and I'm super happy about it. However, I hope to see more women not only in engineering roles, but also taking on leadership positions in technical fields.
I owe a lot of where I am today to some incredible and very inspiring women who I've been fortunate to meet and continue to meet on a day-to-day basis. And International Women's Day, although it's just one day, allows us to celebrate that and to give a bit of a space for further progress to be made over the years.
I balance home and work life by having a routine that I stick to avoid falling into any unhealthy patterns, and I get up every day at the same time, I sit down to start work at the same time, I try to take a lunch break around the same time every day, and more or less have an approximate finish time also. Having this routine helps me keep a good balance and be able to plan my personal life around it.
Was a creation in an open ocean system that should operate offline on the vessel and synchronize the data with the shore side. It wasn't a common project, was interesting and technically challenging.
When I receive feedback from a team or from a person and they've said having you around has made a positive impact on me or a positive impact on the team. Not only do I look after their processes and ensure that their ways of working are optimized and efficient, but it's just really nice on a personal level to know that we've created together an environment where we can speak openly, where we feel like we're in a room of friends, because ultimately it makes coming to work really enjoyable and just pleasant.
I learned there is no problem which is truly unsolvable. It's always worth looking and challenge from different perspective. My family. I come from a highly technical background. My grandfather was a chief engineer of a pipe plant. My grandmother was a team lead of software engineers. And my mom is working in analytics for the largest bank in Ukraine. I was fortunate to be raised without gender bias regarding women in technical professions.
There have been a number of challenges that are faced by women in the maritime sector, and it's really no secret that these have been ongoing for a really long time. I think what's changed more recently is that there is a real need and a real want as well for systemic change across the industry. And certainly during my 4 years of working across maritime and technology, I've witnessed this real shift to create a more inclusive, equitable and fundamentally safe working environment for women both at sea and in shore-based roles as well.
In terms of what companies can do to further support women in technology or maritime, To be fair, nowadays, a lot's being done already. Companies are fairly flexible around maternity leaves, around having extensions, coming back on flexible working. Perhaps one topic that could be discussed, which isn't talked about much and does make an impact to women's lives, is the menopause phase, because the menopause phase can bring great changes, not only physically but also mentally. Some discussions can happen around how women feel they can be helped during this phase.
There is still so much to be done, and it will be really interesting to see the results of the 2025 Women in Maritime survey when they come out in May. But I think what we can look at as a positive is women are making sure that they are increasingly visible in their roles, that their voices are heard, and then also that there's a community behind them that's really supporting the advocacy and the allyship to allow women the space and the platform to be able to create better spaces for us all, and also to ensure that we can look to secure more women working in the industry, because that's really, a fundamentally important part of the work that we're doing today as well.